Hello everyone. Good day, ma'am. Good day, everyone. I am Jeremy Gisdan from Group B. First, I introduce to you our topic entitled of Corazon Aquino speech before the U.S. Congress. First, let me define who is Corazon Aquino. Corazon Aquino or Maria Sumulog Juanco Aquino was born on January 25, 1933 in Tarlac Province, Philippines. She attended school in Manila until the age of 13, then finished her education in the United States, first in Philadelphia and later in New York City. She graduated from the College of Mount St. Vincent in New York in 1953 with a bachelor degree in both French and mathematics. Corazon Aquino was born on January 25, 1933 in Tarlac Province, and she attended school at the age of 13. At the age of 13, sa Manila po siya nag-aaral. And pagkatapos po nun, nag-migrate po siya to New York to continue her study, and she graduated in New York with 2 bachelor degree, which is French and mathematics. Upon returning in the Philippines, she enrolled in law school in Manila where she met Benigno Aquino. Pagbalik naman po niya dito sa Pilipinas, hindi pa rin po nawala sa isip niya ang mag-aral ulit. She enrolled in law school in Manila at kung saan nakita niya ang kanyang love or true love which she met Benigno Aquino. Corazon was the 11th president and the first female president in the Philippines. Corazon Aquino, pinakaunang babae na naging presidente ng Pilipinas. Isang karangalan at isang history talaga na piruin mo, siya ang pinakauna-unang babae na naging presidente natin. She restored democracy after the long dictatorship of Ferdinand Marcos. Si Corazon Aquino ang nag-destroy ng democracy ni Ferdinand Marcos, which is nagkaroon ng labanan talaga ang Marcos and Aquino.
In March 1986, Aquino proclaimed a provisional constitution and soon thereafter appointed a commission to write a new constitution. The resulting documents, which restored the bicameral Congress abolished by Marcos in 1973, was rejected by a landslide popular vote in February 1987. Aquino held an election to new Congress and broke up the monopolies held by Marcos' allies over the economy, which experienced steady growth for several years. But she failed to undertake fundamental economic or social reforms, and her popularity steadily declined as she faced continual outcries over economic injustice and political corruption. Her unwavering dedication to uphold democratic values and extended to the enactment of crucial legislation. The Family Code of 1987, for example, introduced significant reforms to family laws, promoting equality and protecting the rights of the women, children, and families. The Administrative Code of 1987, on the other hand, streamlined bureaucracy and improved the efficiency and transparency of the government process. Aquino's presidency marked a transformative era in Philippines history. Her courage, resilience, and commitment to democratic ideas left an indelible mark on the nations. Despite facing criticism and challenges, her legacy continues to inspire and resonate, especially in ongoing efforts to defend the progressive 1987 Constitution and promote economic development. The snap election was a pivotal moment in Philippine history as it provided an opportunity to people to change the Marcos dictatorship. Despite facing immense obstacles and the control of state-sponsored media by the Marcos regime, Aquino and her supporters tirelessly campaigned throughout the country, emphasizing the need democratic reform and an end to the comprehensive rule of the Marcoses. As the election drew near, Aquino popularity swelled with Filipinos from all walks of life joining her cause. The election day itself was marked by reports of widespread irregularities and intimidation tactics by Marcos administration, which only served to further galvanize the opposition. Aquino's legacy extended beyond her role in dismantling the Marcos dictatorship. During her presidency, she enacted vital legislation that had a lasting impact on the Philippine society. The Family Code of 1987 and the Administrative Code of 1987 are just a few examples of progressive reforms she coined. Furthermore, Aquino influence on her son, Benigno III, who later became the President of the Philippines, demonstrate the enduring impact of the leadership and values. Aquino's efforts in promoting democracy, defending human rights, and enacting progressive legislation have left indelible mark on Philippine history. Her legacy serves as a reminder of the power of the people and the importance of fighting for justice and freedom.
Continuation of my discussion, Corazon Aquino delivered several significant speeches during her presidency that addressed various issues and events in the Philippines. Here are few notable ones. So, maiilan po kami ma-highlight nung term po ni Corazon Aquino. Inaugural Address, February 25, 1986. In her inaugural speech, Aquino emphasized the restoration of democracy and the importance of unity among Filipinos after years of dictatorship. So, in February 25, 1986, binigyan po ng diin ni Corazon Aquino ang panunumbalik at pagkakaisa muli ng mga Pilipino pagkatapos ng diktadora upang magkaroon ng halaga at payapa ang kanyang pamumuno. Kasi po kung walang pagkakaisa at panunumbalik ng bawat Pilipino, hindi po tayo magkakaroon ng mapayapa at magandang bayan. Speech on the EDSA Revolution, February 1986. This speech commemorated the peaceful uprising that led to her presidency, highlighting the power of collection, action, and the people will for change. So binigyan din po ni Corazon Aquino rito na magkaroon ng kapangyarihan at pagkolekta ng sa mga tao upang magkaroon ng pagbabago. Address to the United Nations 1986. Aquino spoke about human rights and the need for international cooperation to promote peace and democracy, reinforcement her commitment to those values on a global stage. So binigyan din po dito ni Corazon Aquino ang karapatang pantao at magkaroon ng international cooperation upang magkaroon ng kapayapaan at demokrasya. speech on the 1987 Constitution. In this address, she discussed the significance of the new Constitution in safeguarding democracy and endorsing the right of the Filipino citizen. So, the 1987 Constitution po, binigyan din po ni Corazon Aquino na magkaroon ng bawat Pilipino ng rights o karapatan sa Constitution po ng 1987. During the 1987 COP attempt, Aquino delivered a defiant speech during the COP attempt, attesting her commitment to democracy and the rule of law, calling for national solidarity against threat to her government.
Mr. Speaker, Senator Tormund, members of Congress, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. 3 years ago, I left America in grief to bury my husband, Ninoy Aquino. I had thought I had left it also to lay to rest his restless dream of Philippine freedom. Today, I have returned as the president of a free people. In between, 2 dreams had died. My husband's hope to lead his country, and mine to live an ordinary life with him. His was the greatest death, for the dream that nurtured him through long years of exile and loneliness survived his assassination. That dream has lived. That dream has lived on the earths of the Filipino people. It has brought back a beloved president to power, and my husband's widow to the same podium where he stood in his last journey home. Today, I say join us, for the whole world to join us, and to recognize that the true measure of success is not how much wealth you have, but how many freedoms you have enjoyed and safeguarded. I look back with gratitude to the American Congress that honored my husband then. And you did more than that. You gave him more lasting tribute of continuing assistance to the Filipino people. I shall now ask for the support that we still need, but I shall ask more than that. I am not here to talk about the past, but to ask for your partnership in building a future that upholds the principles of liberty, justice, and peace. I invite you to work with us in a spirit of friendship, solidarity, and shared value. My country stands at the threshold of a new era. With your support, we can build a future that is free from the tyranny, free from poverty, and free from fear. Let us work together to strengthen democracy, to promote human rights, and to ensure that the Filipino people can live with dignity and hope. Thank you, and may God bless you with both our nations. Our goal is to give back our people liberties and dignity that were stolen from them. I cannot tell you how often I felt helpless, crushed by the loss of my husband, the overwhelming odds against us, and the agony of the Filipino people. But we persevered, and in February of this year, we saw the miracle of a peaceful revolution unfold. Today, we are committed to rebuilding that had been torn apart by the greed and corruption of the previous dictatorship. We need to rebuild our economy, restore our democracy, and rekindle the spirit of our people. For what has passed is more than a succession of regimes. More than that, more than a change of names is at stake. For this is more than a government that change. It is the history of a free people and its struggle for democracy. I will tell you how it came about. In August 1983, I left America for the last time to go to my husband, to bring him home. The rest is history. My people's nonviolent revolution and the courageous struggle of a widow who led it did not end with a great moment of victory. It was just the beginning. We have won, but we still face many challenges. We ask your help not as a beggars, but as the inheritors of the same democratic tradition of freedom that was passed that was passed on by America. We share the same hopes and dreams for peace, for development, and for a future that is no longer a slave to fear.
Good morning everyone. This is the analysis of the speech of Corazon Aquino. Historical background, the documents. When former President Corazon spoke before a joint session of the United States Congress in September of 1986, it was his first visit in America since the dictator Ferdinand Marcos has been deposed in February of the same year. And Philippines was reckoning with everything in the administration that included 26 billion in total foreign debt and a communist insurgency that grew. So, Aquino lodged appeal for help addressing the House. She delivered a historical speech that managed to sway in our favor the vote for an emergency. The speech was impassioned, deeply personal, and effective, interrupted two times by applause and book ended with standing ovations. House Speaker Theo O'Neill called the finest speech I've ever heard in 34 years in Congress. Senate Majority Leader Robert and House Minority Whip Trent Lott said, "Let's just say the emotions of the moment saved the day. It will go down it will go down the annals of our history as one of the former president finished speeches." So the Corazon Aquino speech before the United States Congress in 1986 was a pivotal moment in Philippines. Following the overthrow of Ferdinand Marcos, the speech called for support as the Philippines dealt up with the aftermath of Marcos' role, highlighting economic crisis and communist insurgency as major challenges. Aquino's emotional appeal and call for help resonated with the U.S. Congress, resulting in crucial aid for the Philippines. The speech has become a symbol of the country struggles for democracy and inspired others to fight for freedom and justice. Thank you.
Ulit niyan.
Content and analysis of the important historical information found in the document. On September 22, 1972, Opposition Senator Benigno Aquino Jr., together with senators, publishers, and anyone who had spoken for the democracy, was arrested at the Manila by element of the Philippine Constabulary Metropolitan Command. This arrest happened day after President Ferdinand E. Marcos signed Proclamation Number 1018 declaring the entire Philippines under the martial law. On August 27, 1973, Ninoy was brought back to Fort Bonifacio where he faced the military tribunal on charge of murder, illegal possession of firearms, and submersion. Ninoy held up manfully under all of it. For 43 days, the authorities would not fail. On August 30, 1983, Aquino began a meandering week-long flight that took him from Boston to Los Angeles and through Singapore, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. As China Airlines flight descended 811 into an international airport on August 21, 1983, Aquino warned the foreign journalists traveling with him to have their cameras ready. In a matter of 3 or 4 minutes, it could be all over, he noted with chilling presence minutes after the plane touched down. Aquino, still we fought for these problems were exacerbated by persistent warfare between the communist insurgency and the military whose, in general, her economic policy were criticized for being mixed or faltering in the face of mass poverty. Aquino was succeeded in the office by her former Defense Secretary Fidel Ramos. The ratification of the new constitution was followed by the election of senators and Congress that same year, and the constitution was followed by the election of senator and Congress. This highlights significant events during the Philippines martial law era under President Ferdinand Marcos and the key role of leader Benigno Ninoy Aquino Jr. In summary, this underscores the struggle for democracy during martial law, the pivotal role of Ninoy Aquino's sacrifice, and Corazon Aquino's eventual rise as a symbol of restored democracy in the Philippines.
1.
Contribution in the relevance of the documents understanding the grand narrative of the Philippines history. The speech of the former President Corazon Aquino gives us the slide of how Filipinos struggled to attain freedom in between the unsettled resistance from the past of have inspired Filipino revolutionaries in our current era. It also gives clarification. The documents describe the struggle faced by the Aquinos to help the Philippines achieve freedom. The document also mentioned about the diet encouraged by the former government. This speech also shows how the dictatorship transformed into democratic government from its president down to its law under the rules. The documents also mentioned the killing of Nonoy Aquino and the terror from torture. It showed the problem faced by Flory Aquino as soon as she became the president. For instance, the poverty and unemployment. The document mentioned to election occurred after his wife participated during the election in loss in the first election. During the second, which is a swap election, she became the president and declares democracy in the countries. Ang mga mensahe ni Aquino ay nagbibigay inspirasyon sa mga tao upang makilahok sa pamahalaan at itaguyod ang mga demokratikong proseso. Minsan nagbibigay siya ng mga personal na saloobin tungkol sa kanyang mga karanasan. Bilang leader na nagbibigay diin sa kahalagaan ng pag-asa at pagtutulungan ng bawat Pilipino.